Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. The secret to health, happiness, and pleasure. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. How many of you are interested in improving your health? How many of you are interested in being happy? How many of you are interested in pleasure, as long as it's legal in the state of Michigan? Well, I'll get straight to the point and let you in on my little secret to health, happiness, and pleasure. The secret is chocolate. Now, health and chocolate. Some of you may be a bit skeptical, but let's look at some of the data. Chocolate is made from the cocoa bean, which is rich in disease-fighting antioxidants. In a recent study, people who consumed 6 grams of chocolate, about the size of 1 square, were able to lower their systolic and diastolic blood pressure by 6 points. That's quite impressive. Now, to get these benefits from chocolate, it's important to choose the correct type of chocolate. You want to choose milk chocolate, or excuse me, dark chocolate, not milk chocolate. Dark chocolate has a much higher concentration of cocoa than milk chocolate. In addition, you want to choose natural, un-Dutch chocolate. Dutch chocolate has been processed with alkali to meet the needs of certain baking applications. Unfortunately, that takes away many of the beneficial compounds from chocolate. So in summary, choose natural, dark chocolate. Now, moving from health to happiness, let's look at the link between chocolate and happiness. Again, at the scientific data, there are over 300 compounds in chocolate, many of which have been documented to enhance one's disposition. We'll consider a couple of those compounds. Number 1, PEA. This compound has been shown to help the production of serotonin and dopamine receptors in the system. And these tend to produce a sense of well-being. A second compound called cannabinoid has been shown to have an effect that is very similar to the chemical THC in cannabis. Now, and tends to produce a sense of euphoria. Some of you may be wondering, with these beneficial compounds in chocolate, why aren't more people on street corners trying to get a fix? Well, the truth is, the amount or the concentration of these compounds is actually quite small. Now, moving on from the scientific to some more subjective data, how many of you remember feeling happy when someone surprised you with a box of chocolate? How many of you would be happy if you were presented with a gift of chocolate right now? Well, this brief, somewhat unscientific survey seems to suggest quite a strong correlation between chocolate and happiness. Now, moving from happiness to pleasure, one of the best ways to experience pleasure is by developing our tasting abilities for chocolate. And I just happen to have one of the finest chocolates available, Lindt Excellent. It is made from some of the finest cocoa beans in the world, and it's quite inexpensive and available. Now for this taste testing, Kelly, if you could assist by distributing the chocolate, I'd appreciate that very much. While Kelly is distributing the chocolate for our tasting, the three elements of chocolate tasting we will consider are appearance, aroma, and taste. Now, as far as appearance, it's important to unwrap the chocolate. Oh, if you could pass the chocolate to people, unwrap it and pass it to someone next to you. It's important to look at the chocolate and observe the shiny finish on the chocolate. That indicates that the chocolate is fresh. Chocolate that is older tends to develop a haze, also called a bloom on the chocolate. Next, the aroma of the chocolate. If you could hold the chocolate close to your nose and take a deep breath. And that deep notice that deep chocolatey aroma. And compare that with those Snicker bars you've been eating. Now, break off a piece of chocolate and listen to that snap. That snap indicates a higher cocoa content. Now finally, put a small piece of chocolate on the top of your tongue and let it melt. After it has started to melt, twirl it around your mouth and let it come in contact with your entire palate. Now close your eyes and try to detect all the different flavors. Now, open your eyes. How many of you felt that experience was pleasurable? Well, now that the secret has been revealed to you, please be sure to share that secret with others so they can experience health, happiness, and that wonderful pleasure that's still legal in the state of Michigan. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.